Debrianna did that.
My chicken's so tired.
Hey!
Poor tired.
You flew in from Santa Fe. Oh, are your wings tired?
That's right. I am. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hi.
Hollie.
Hi,
Bella.
Hi, Bella.
Hello, my lovely assistant.
Hi, lovely assistant. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. Our house, we're going to be showing you a glazed rack of lamb today and talking about honey and what's the deal with honey. But our entire house smells like a Greek family reunion, or a Croatian for that matter. I mean, it's usually Orion grills this, but I did it in a cast iron today, which actually made a beautiful, like where the fat was, how it caramelizes, gorgeous.
Oh,
but
yeah.
smell. We don't have the best exhaust system, and it got a little smoky in the house.
Oh,
So if we look like
the whole neighborhood goes to Hollie's house.
It's kind of smoky in there.
So all the dogs have lined up in the front yard because the exhaust goes out through the below the floor through the front, and all them like, oh,
It's a puppy party.
it is.
Swap.
Cute. I'm so happy to have you on the show today for your Here's the Deal. How are you doing, Debrianna? What's going on with you?
Well, while you were waving that knife around, I was like, because I had a little accident today.
Oh, no.
Right after I sharpened my knife.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it slipped on the avocado and sliced my hand. And ouch, I'm telling you, it hurts. So that was my day. But, thankfully, I'm not cooking today, so I'm happy about that.
You're off the hook.
I am off the hook.
Ouch. Well,
Yeah. How about you?
me?
Yeah.
Hey, you over there.
It's cold in Santa Fe today, so I've been cold all day. I've been wearing sweats. And I've just been working hard. I'm exhausted. This is the fun part of my day.
Yep, this is the fun part.
What episode is this? Are we 76?
76.
76.
Bob Seska was episode 75, which I didn't realize, or I would have said that while he was on yesterday. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. I was just thinking about you guys this morning, and I thought only 2 actresses could put on a show every night. Like the rest of us mere mortals would be like, I can't.
Don't make me.
Oh.
It's impressive. We thank you.
Thank you.
We're still having fun. I mean, if we weren't, we would be not doing it. So,
Yeah.
And there you go.
It's not like the network is going to say, sorry, girls, your contract. Mm-mm.
We own the network. Okay.
Yes. like your shirt says.
Yeah. Well-behaved women seldom make history. I thought
Love that shirt.
'Tis true, my friend.
Okay. All right. Well, should we talk honey quickly?
Oh, let's.
Please enlighten us on the honey.
Okay. So here's the deal with honey. Sorry, we've got some Sasquatches coming in the room.
Is someone not quiet on the set? Where is the first date?
Where's the director?
Okay. Okay, well we can talk about that later. It's real life. Okay. So honey, here I just happen to have a lovely little jar here, golden color.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Honey, as we all know, comes from honeybees. Honeybees are native to Europe. They were brought to the United States and to North America about 400 or 500 years ago. And they are not native here. So all the bees that we have here have all been here now for, half a millennium.
Okay, I did not know any of this. Did you?
I remember hearing about that in some history show about food. But wouldn't you say that now, because they've been here so long, we could say they're natives? I mean, is it like Santa Fe where you have to be here for 300 years before you're considered a native?
It's a good question. I don't know the actual answer to that, but I would say that it's really important that we realize that they are an import, and one of the things, being super pollinators, it's really important that we have them here for our food system. I was reading a few days ago that someone said 1 out of every 4 bites you take of your food was pollinated by a honeybee. So without them, we've lost 1/4 to 1/3 of our food system. So we've become very, very dependent on honeybees pollination. So the other thing is that we do have a native bee in North America. It looks like a fly, and it's about, it's a little bit bigger than a fly. Its body isn't so, like the wings aren't so triangular. And our local beekeeper told me about it. And he said they were previously the pollinators that we had here for thousands of years. And they still are around, and there's several different kinds. So there are lots of different pollinators, butterflies, bees, birds. But the honeybee is the only one that actually makes honey and lives in a communal hive. So it's an incredible product. It never goes bad. They found honey in the pyramids buried with the tube. Now, it does crystallize over time, and that doesn't mean it's bad. So what I always tell people is just go in your tap water and put a glass of tap water, and then take it and put it in the tap water, and then just leave it there. And eventually the crystals will melt.
Debriana, I have to interject this. Okay, remember when I made mojitos and made the simple syrup, and I did one with honey and one with sugar?
Yeah.
The sugar one didn't last that long. The honey one is gorgeous. Even
really? Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
It's a really wonderful culinary aid. I mean, one of the other things too is that if you're concerned about your glycemic index, it does take longer to get into your bloodstream than white refined sugar, which for people that have blood sugar issues, that's always an important thing, the slow down. Stevia really is the best if you're gonna worry about glycemic index. It actually has 0 glycemic index, but
it's stevia.
But it's stevia. But honey is a little slower. So the other thing that's really, really, really important to tell people about honey, again, I'm not a doctor, disclaimer. But
we're not doctors.
We're not doctors.
But that honey is raw. What does that mean? You go to the store and you see raw honey. Raw honey means that it hasn't been heated over 140 degrees. 140 degrees pasteurizes honey and kills all the beneficial bacteria. It kills all the bacteria, including the beneficial bacteria. And that's why people do it. They also, some of the honeys you can buy, they put something in it called diatomaceous earth and some other really not so great things for you in it to stabilize it so it never crystallizes. And again, crystallization doesn't mean it's bad. So I'm not quite sure why everybody's terrified of that. But it's really important to try to get raw honey if you can, especially if you're taking it medicinally. Some people take it. It's been recommended for allergies and skin irritations and things like that. So I always tell people, make sure when you're taking it medicinally, you take a teaspoon for yourself and then put a teaspoon in your tea or however you take it. Because a lot of people put it in their tea. And what's the temperature of your tea? 180, 200 degrees, you've instantly pasteurized your honey. So there goes all the beneficial bacteria. Your tea will be nice and sweet. And that's great.
Oh my God, this is so enlightening.
I stirred in afterwards. So do you know about the difference between regular honey and Manuka honey?
It's just a matter of location. So a lot of times you'll see on jars that it's, lavender, clover. I mean, there's lots of ways that people describe, but the truth is that honey bees can fly up to 15. Some beekeepers say 20 miles. So, the honey that I use for my brand is a local beekeeper here that I work with, and so it's all Moraga, in the town that I live in. It's all our local, they go as far as, 15 miles of my house. So if you are, again, going to take it medicinally, make sure you do it. So but back to your question, a lot of times the claims, again, so much of this goes back to the confusion in the packaging and what people are saying the product is. It's really hard to say that something is lavender or clover or whatever, unless they're on a lavender farm that's, 30 acres and everything's in the middle of that. What I actually do is for my line of honeys, I actually add lavender and I infuse it in the honey so that you get more of the lavender flavor. And I find that actually is much stronger, so you're able to taste the flavors of lavender. And the honey that we're going to use on the rack of lamb today is a glaze thing that I do that's parsley, mint, and lemon thyme. It's delicious. So I think a lot of us don't think of, there's so many sauces out there, barbecue sauce and the sauce aisle is endless now, and it's fun because there's lots of fun brands and funny names and everything. But honey's a great glaze to use, and a lot of those sauces, especially barbecues, are sugar based. So if you don't want to have the sugar, doing the honey is a really nice way to get a little savory and sweet combo to some of your savory dishes. But you can certainly add them to your sweets on your, I do a rose honey, and we put that on toast and scones and all that stuff. So and our other sister, Hollie, hi Heidi, that's her favorite. She likes that with cheese and crackers. So it really, and these are all things you can do yourself with your dried herbs. You can infuse them, just like we did the olive oils last week. You can do the same with honey. Just make sure that they are dried, because like the olive oil, you don't want to get any moisture in the honey and create bacteria. So
can you get like moldy honey?
Can you get
moldy honey? Like,
it would only if you had something else in it, like if you put fresh chopped basil, let's say, in it, and because the basil has water in it, it will mold over time, and then it will infuse into the honey, and you'll have to toss it. So just like the olive oil, unless you're going to use it right away, it's really good to use dried. It's just a much safer, and it does, and the dried really does give some really great flavor. So you're not going to compromise on that. And you can use, like today, with the lamb, you could add fresh herbs to this also when it's cooking, and that way it'll give some more aroma, and also to the glaze. You can do both. So it depends on what you like. But honey is one of my favorite things with the kids, especially when they were little. For sore throats or whatever ailed them. It's always such a nice, soothing thing. It's natural. There is no such thing as, there is a certified organic honey, but they're just testing it to see if it has any pesticide residue in it. You can't keep trackers on bees and in hives and test for pesticide residue. So it's in some pesticides you can't, they may not have, the residuals may not show up on the test, but getting organic is always better, and really local is the best. So if you have a farmer's market or if you have a specialty food store, try to find something in your zip code, or something close to your zip code. It's really important that we support local beekeepers. It's a real craft, an art form even, to learn. I mean, people spend years and years learning, and I've attended a couple classes at our local Beekeepers Association here in Walnut Creek, and they're really passionate about what they do, just like you would go with wine people or olive oil people and everything. And it's really fascinating just how their ecosystems work. Everybody has a job. It's a zero waste society. So we could probably learn a thing or two.
Yeah. I just noticed. You know what that number is, that when they say UMF and they say like 30 or 45 or something, what they're measuring exactly?
I don't. I do know that honey is measured in weight, not in ounces. So when you're buying honey a lot, they'll say a pound or 2 pounds or something like that.
No, it's got something to do with something that's in the honey, like some
maybe it could be like a sugar. It could be a sugar ratio. Because the other thing is that there are. I use the wax from the hives too in some of my bath and body products, and there are different densities of the wax depending on where it's located in the hive.
I gotcha.
So it can depend from hive to hive, certain things. I mean, so that's why, again, it's so important to buy local, so that you're really experiencing it in its best form, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was noticing I actually had bees this morning when I was watering my plant.
Yay!
I haven't seen a bee in a really long time.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, there's several reasons. I mean, again, remember that, you know, large-scale agriculture, things like almonds, you know, things that require pollination, they bring in boxes and boxes of bees to pollinate them. The problem is that when they're using pesticides, they are really doing a great disservice to these poor bees because their bodies can't process. As efficient as they are, they can't process the toxins. So that's one of the reasons why we've seen the decline in bees, because it's not just the working bees on that farm, but it's any of the surrounding bees. It kills them. So that's not good. But bees in like where we are, suburban areas, their numbers aren't bad because they have open space, because they have everybody's yards and lots of pollinators. They're actually doing okay. The real issue, from my way I understand it, is the large scale agriculture. Industrial agriculture is a big problem for the bees. So if we all, again, buy local honey, it's a great way to support your local economy, your local ecosystem for them. So
and now we have murder hornets. No.
Well, wasps are the real enemy for the bees. We have, I mean, if a wasp can invade your your hive, it's really bad. They can destroy it. So they're not a friend of bees. But yeah, the hornets, we're not leaving our house, so I guess we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Anywho, so that's the deal with honey. So take-home messages, buy local. Don't be afraid to use it in your cooking and in your cocktails and all your other fun things that you make, because it's a really great culinary and it lasts forever. So, and again, look for raw, and that's under 140 degrees. So there you go.
Awesome.
Right. Well, should I show you how to glaze this little?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I make you lamb.
Yes, make us lamb.
Here, and I already cooked this.
Oh,
yeah. So I know. So just to let you know, and I'll post this when I do the pictures. So this is a cast iron skillet. You can do this on, if you don't have a cast iron, you can do it in a regular pan. And obviously you can do it on your grill, which is how my husband will normally do it because he's the grill master. So, but I love a cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, you can even find them at your hardware store now, and they're fantastic. It's a great way to brown and cook things in the pan, can really take the high heat. So I just took a French cut rack, which I bought organically at my local market. And hi, Seamus.
Get cooked out by a teenager.
Oh my God. Okay, you're gonna have to say hi. Okay, bye.
My nephew. So I just took. They pre-do this now. You used to have to go to the butcher and ask them to do the French cut. There's still that will do that. But our local store here, Whole Foods, sells it already cut. So that's great. So it's actually kind of quick. So I took it out of the bag. I seasoned it with, since I'm going to be doing a glaze, I only did salt and pepper. I did use a little of the rosemary olive oil that we made last week. That. And I actually used some grapeseed oil in this because the cast iron gets so hot. It's a little better. Grapeseed oil has a little higher burn temperature than olive oil does. So I'm saving really the rosemary olive oil for flavor to add one more to our thing. So I just browned it on all sides, salt and pepper, brown it on all sides. And then put it in the oven at 425 for 10 minutes.
And when you left it in the pan, right?
Left it in the pan. So here's the tip with the pan, because I have done this a million times, is take your pot holder and just stick the thumb in here and leave it once you take it out. Because I will always go grab I can't tell you how many times I've done that. So
so many times. Ow.
So you bake it for another. So it's sear it for 10 minutes, bake it for 10 minutes, and then take it out. And then you turn your stove on to broil, and that's when we're going to do the glaze. So I'm doing my glaze, but you can do any combination of dried herbs with honey you want. This is mint, parsley, and lemon thyme.
So how long did you let that honey sit with the herbs in it before you're using it?
I usually make this and let it sit for about a week before I sell it. But it just depends on, if you wanted to make it that day, you certainly can. It doesn't matter. And if you remember, once you grind herbs, you're releasing a lot of the oils because you're breaking down the herb more. So it's going to release a lot more flavor. So if you wanted to do it that day, it's not a problem at all.
Okay.
So I just take a teaspoon. And as you can see, there are lots of herbs in here. Right? Can you see those?
Can you go closer?
A little bit. If you can come closer, we will. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So actually,
okay.
Yeah.
In there. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Okay. Green flecks. So you take this, take a nice healthy spoonful, and I just drizzle it on the top. And try not to with your meat. If you're going to touch the meat, get another spoon. Don't then go put it back into your honey.
Don't touch it with the meat spoon.
It's a little tip. So I didn't touch it, so I can go back in. Take another one. Okay. So now I'm done with the honey. We're going to put it aside. No more putting the spoon in it. And then you just smear it on top. Now, some dishes, you can just do this and call it, right? I like to get a little more caramelized. So what we're going to do is we put it on the really nice on the broiler setting of your stove. Just kind of, I also put in about 10 cloves of garlic at the bottom here when I put it in the oven.
The 10 cloves of garlic.
Because you have to have garlic. You're not going to eat those. That's to flavor the fat and the oil. And so when you serve it, that's going to be in your sauce. Make sure it's people you love.
Yum.
It's going to be good. All right. So from here, we're going to put it in the broiler just for a minute.
My mouth is watering.
And then it's just going to bubble. And the thing about the broiler, too, is that you can keep your oven cracked a little bit to keep an eye on it. And it's fast. I have this new oven is electric. And it's like completely different than the gas stove. I had learned how to cook on a gas oven. Yeah. If you switch to electric, it's faster. It warms up faster. The broils, everything's faster in an electric. And it actually, the temperature is a lot higher than my old gas stove. So that's the plug for the electric.
I know there's stoves where you can get gas on the top and electric in the oven.
That's what mine is. And it's a combo. It really is.
Yeah.
If you're in the market for new stoves. All right, we're almost done.
I shop for new stoves just as a pastime. I love looking at ovens and stoves.
This is like shopping for a car for some people.
Okay, that was it.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh.
So now it's nice and caramelized. I'm trying to get it on the, see, I've already
let me take your name out for a sec.
Don't burn yourself. Don't ruin your laptop.
Oh, gorgeous.
Wow. I'll put a picture of it. But then what you do is you let that cool, and then you set it up on your cutting board, and you slice it this way in between the bones and cut those nice pieces. Let it rest a little bit. And then that's it. That's a glaze. Like how that was, as what Ina Garten always says, like how hard is that? That was easy. So it's really simple. And you can do that also any, sugar based, like the barbecue sauces or any of the other glazes that you have, especially if you don't have a barbecue or it's, you don't want to grill. It's just a really easy way to get that a little bit caramelized, a little more cooked instead of kind of goopy, ketchupy,
Yeah.
Yum.
Yay. Thank you. I wish I was eating at your house right now.
Is that dinner?
The kids this is dinner tonight. The kids are snorkeling. They're like, it's really early for dinner here, but we're all in because I've been so busy. I haven't been cooking that many dinners.
Yeah. We're like, okay.
Hollie, we have a viewer. Someone thinks we're twins.
Yeah.
Well, our science teacher in high school kept calling us the wrong name for 2 years. That was fun.
Oh, that's so funny. What is it with science teachers? My sisters, who are actually twins, our science teacher did not know they were twins. He thought the same kid was taking his class twice a day until one of them was sitting in class and the other one walked by.
Wow.
I can't fix
They're
that.
like absent-minded professors, you know. They're just not. Yeah.
Their mind's on bigger things, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. That looks fabulous.
That was
I'll
wonderful.
take some photos that I'll post them. We can post them tonight or tomorrow, and let you know once we have the dinner ready and my kid's licking the bones. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and Biscuit the dog is lucky day. Her lucky day.
Actually locked in the office with Orion. She would be insane right now if I let her out. Let me add it.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Corona Kitchen.
We're happy. We're happy to have you.
Go support your local beekeepers and buy local honey.
Yeah,
Buy
totally.
local honey.
Yeah. And everybody, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That helps us a lot. And we're just cranking it out here every day. So we're happy to have you join us and learn whatever we can about home cooking.
Yay. Hollie's Homegrown every Tuesday. Tune in.
Yeah.
And on Corona Kitchen, we have some exciting new things we're going to be talking about soon. I'm going to be like Debriana, my secret ingredient. But there are some things that will be happening.
We have news.
In the future.
Is that the teaser? That's the teaser?
You'll see.
Yeah, that's the teaser.
That's the teaser.
See, I'm learning. I'm learning the language.
Yeah, the lingo.
The network, we breathe down our own necks. We are the network.
We do. Because if we're not breathing down our necks, then we're not working.
That's right.
Somebody's got to do it.
That's right.
Do it anyway. But well, it was great to have you and see you.
Thank you, family, for being quiet on the set. We're appreciative.
Bye, Bella. Bye, Jack. Bye, Orion.
Have a great, wonderful
again.
rest of your day. Come on.
Take care.
Love you guys. Stay safe and well.